The main event of UFC 322 sees a fight between the former UFC lightweight champion vacating his title and moving up to 170 pounds to challenge the newly crowned welterweight champion coming off of a decision victory, a unanimous one at that, over Belal Muhammad to claim gold in Jack Della Maddalena. Makhachev versus Maddalena is a fight that I don't think people are giving enough respect to. Many people believe this is just going to be another walk in the park for the dominant champion in Islam Makhachev, who hasn't lost in over a decade. When you look at JDM, he went 0-2 in his first professional mixed martial arts bouts and has rattled off 18 consecutive wins along the way, with very few wins coming by way of decision. People expect the dominant forward pressure, wrestling, top control, and submission game of Makhachev to be much more dominant at a weight class above than what he's originally used to down at 155 pounds. And that could be the case, considering we're going to see a much more filled out and strong version of Makhachev than what we saw down in the lightweight division. But carrying around that extra weight and muscle could pose more problems than it does solutions for the former champ trying to become a double champ. I believe JDM will continue to fight from the beginning all the way to the end, and that's not much to say for a man who's become a champion in the premier mixed martial arts organization in the world, but JDM poses issues that I don't believe Islam has ever fought before. You've got a man with some of the best boxing in mixed martial arts, the best footwork, angles, in and out movement, and ability to land concussive blows to the head and polarizing, shocking body shots that will, just like we said, shock the system of Makhachev if landed in the correct place. And you can make some stylistic comparisons to Dustin Poirier, and I believe Poirier gave Makhachev one of his toughest fights of his run, aside from the likes of Alexander Volkanovski. However, I believe up a weight class, the footwork, the angles, the movement, and the combinations that JDM will unleash both up top to the head and down low to the body are much more dangerous than the combinations we've seen from Poirier. I believe JDM has the power to shut Islam's lights out with one shot. And that is something that if you go through the career of Makhachev, he hasn't really had to fight that often. The power that Della Maddalena possesses is something that Islam Makhachev has never seen before. I also believe that on the other hand, the grappling and top pressure and submission game is something that JDM hasn't seen in his career either, but working alongside the likes of Craig Jones, Alexander Volkanovski, and all of his regular training partners, I believe it is something he can become more accustomed to and more prepared for come fight night than the power of JDM translating over to the preparation of Makhachev. This is going to be a completely different animal up a weight class, and yes, I do believe that Makhachev is going to be a lot stronger, and he is going to give JDM hell early in the fight. But how will the new weight class affect the cardio dynamic when we get into the championship rounds? We know that JDM has faced people who are bigger than Makhachev throughout his career, and he has continued to be able to push the pace and pressure even when he's down on the scorecards, just like when he scored that knockout over Gilbert Burns in the third round of their fight at UFC 299. I believe Islam Makhachev, like I said, is going to give JDM hell. But I believe JDM has some comfort in the fire and will continue to push forward and unleash combinations that could shut the lights out on Makhachev at any point in the fight, whether it's the first round or the 5th minute of the 5th round in Madison Square Garden. This is the true definition of a super fight. Makhachev versus Maddalena is going to be a war for as long as it lasts. It could end early, but I have a suspicion that this is going to be dragged into the deep waters. And it becomes the case of, can JDM keep his head above water with the forward pressure and unbelievable grappling? Or on the other hand, will Makhachev not be accustomed to the gained weight? And will the forward pressure boxing combinations and angles of JDM, paired with the power, cause Makhachev to crumble at 170 pounds? There's a lot of questions going into this fight, and that's what makes it one of the best of the year. And all those questions will be answered come Saturday night, when both men are standing in the middle of the octagon for the main event of UFC 322 in the mecca of sports entertainment and combat sports known as Madison Square Garden.